So I just got the Tesla Cybertruck, guys, and it's been an interesting ride to say nonetheless. So in this video, let's go over the 3 things I hate about the Tesla Cybertruck. Let's jump in, baby. All right, number 1 is that the car is a little too big, to say so the least. Okay, so here's the car. I want to show you guys in all its glory. Essentially, this is Tesla Cybertruck, and look how long it is. So when you supercharge a car, you have to basically park all the way up here, and then you're kind of honestly sticking out back here because the car is so long. And that's the Tesla Cybertruck for you. Just an extremely long and extremely big car. And honestly, if you're driving this car as just like a normal car, as a daily driver, it's honestly not that practical because of how big the car is, right? I think if you have a Model Y, that Model Y is probably better because of how like easy it is to park as well as how easy it is to drive. But this Tesla Cybertruck, it's ginormous. So here it is, guys. I'm on a 0.5 lens, so it does look like it's kind of smaller. But if you're ever to come up to it in person, the car is massive. Look at that. From back here all the way over there, it's like, honestly, I think it's the same size as a Ford F-150. So if you have a Ford F-150, it is the same length as it, as well as I think the height is pretty similar. So you find yourself kind of going up to it and being like, oh man, I hope people don't hit me when I'm driving, because a lot of people, they tend to veer too close to the car, and you don't really realize the length of it. So that's another thing. Whenever I turn into parking lots or when I turn into certain places, I'm always scared that the bed of the car is going to hit someone, right? But luckily there is steer-by-wire, so it is a little easier to drive. But it does get a little scary when you're driving the car because of how long and wide the car is. So that is an interesting thing about this car, is that it is very long, so you have a chance of hitting the car. So that is one thing I don't enjoy about the car. Number 2 is that how dirty it gets. So I used to have the car in the silver kind of like garbage, I would say dumpster look per se, and it got really dirty with the fingerprints. So I wrapped it in all black. It's kind of like this 3M gloss black color, but because it's 3M gloss black, it gets very dusty. Look at this. So I have dust and pollen over the car. I just got it wrapped on Tuesday. It is Saturday now, or Sunday now, so 5 days. And look how dirty it's gotten. That's the one thing about black on cars, is that it tends to get very dirty, and you can see it pretty easily. The stainless steel was cool because it didn't really get that dirty, but you could see all the fingerprints. So I'm thinking maybe next time we wrap it in all white so that it doesn't get as dirty. But as you can see here, the car is pretty darn dirty. Here, wash me. Jello. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Okay, so that's the car. It's kind of dirty. Look at that. But it's kind of, to be honest with you, yeah. Another thing too is with these wheels. These wheels are a little too big. So unfortunately, when you get a Cybertruck wheels, it is pretty expensive to replace. I think I was looking, it's around $280, almost $300 per wheel, which is kind of like comparable to the Model S if you're getting like the performance tires, where it was also like almost $300 to replace the tires. So it is kind of expensive to replace your tires, as well as to just kind of get these fixed, right? So these, I'm pretty sure they'll last me around 20,000, 30,000 miles, hopefully, if I drive it kind of normally. But yeah, they're gonna be pretty pricey to replace, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah. Also, these hubcaps, man, look how dirty they get. It's kind of insane, the dust. They don't really look the best, honestly, but they do help with the range and efficiency, which is pretty cool with the car. And I like how they are like very thick, and the suspension is pretty smooth because of how big those tires are, but they don't look the best, and they are kind of interesting look per se, say so myself. So it is kind of an interesting feeling vibe to the car, where the car is massive and the tires aren't that nice. But yeah, I also want to show you guys another issue like I have been having with the car, and it's kind of like really bothers me. So there is a lot of build qualities and issues with the car, And the number one build quality issue I got with this car is that this door here, yes, it looks fine, yes, it looks good, but when you basically sit here and you're driving on the freeway, there is so much wind noise here. I think I got a bad car where there is leakage all throughout the car, so it's very loud and noisy whenever I'm driving, and it's all coming out from the right side of the window and of the car. So kind of keep that in mind, is that when you're driving this car, if you get a bad one, I got an unfortunately bad one, I'm having wind noise and leakage on throughout the car. But that's the only thing right now. So kind of, which is, you want a perfect car, but sometimes you won't get a perfect car. But that's the major issue I'm facing right now: leakage through the right side window or door, and it's just kind of loud per se as I'm driving the car. So it is kind of interesting having this car and all the wind noise and leakage all throughout the car. So I don't enjoy that. Another thing here is that because the car is so wide, you have a giant windshield wiper, and this giant windshield wiper, as it's kind of streaking, it leaves streaks throughout the car. So on the front, you will see some streaks throughout the car. Like when you turn it on, you see a massive streak. You kind of see it right here, and it just kind of stays as you're driving, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. So I don't enjoy that part of the car, especially all that leakage and that wind kind of coming off from the car itself. So that is kind of annoying about the car itself. So another thing too about the car, let's kind of wipe this off. It's kind of, yeah, I don't want that to be there anymore. All right, it's gone. But we will take it to a car wash when we get home. Yeah, it's so dusty. That is crazy. Like, look at that, guys. All right, so let's jump into the car. So this is one thing I want you guys to realize about the car, is that charging takes a lot longer. So I'm gonna go into charging right now, and charging it, like, for the Model S, it's kind of interesting. When you're at 75 kilowatt hours, you're at this 247, right? Miles per hour. But for this Cybertruck, the fastest you can go is around 250 kilowatt hours. And then the most miles per hour you can charge is to about like 650. But when you're in the Model S or Model 3, that can go up to almost 1,000 miles per hour. So it's a lot faster charge. But this Cybertruck, the battery is so big that the car does take longer to charge. That's something they don't tell you. And it's kind of unfortunate. Like, I have to charge the car up, and because the battery is so much bigger, it takes a lot longer to charge, which I don't like. So I'm kind of having to wait here at the charger a lot longer, and it's just kind of it takes a long time to charge. So that's one thing I don't enjoy about the car. But other than that, the car has been pretty solid. Like, I wish someone would tell me this before I bought the car, but hey, I kind of have it now. I'm enjoying it, and these are like the things I don't enjoy about my Tesla Cybertruck. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in a bit, Jello fam. Peace.